The city breaks people. Be it through uncaring entropy or targeted malicious acts, it takes from us bit by bit. Like a liver constantly scarring to keep its form, we heal in unpredictable ways. For most, this is harmless. For others, these scars become synonymous with who they are, unable to separate ego from affliction. A week ago, a man named Sammy came to us with a job. A web of lies, half-truths, and self-deceit to untangle. A week ago, all but one involved believed that they were the protagonists of this story. Today, a woman who believed herself a savior realized her own rule of don't give help to those who didn't ask applies to herself as well. An environmentalist found that their tinctures and concoctions have no bearing on broken spirits and minds. A drunk found that no amount of posturing or soaked livers can prevent the world from seeing through to who they are. As for the one who wished to vanish into the background of the story, they were called upon to the stage in the final act. A soul of standing dead wood standing beneath the limelight ignited, and now the city will burn.
Camera falls from the sky. This time, not focusing on anything else, but going in a straight line till it finds Orville. Where are you, Orville?
Orville's currently in his apartment, getting ready to go to the hardware store. He has not much money in his pocket, but he's willing to spend every last bit of it on kerosene, mason jars, and whatever bits of cotton he can find.
The apartment still smells of sour milk, stale sweat. How does it feel now, or this thing that was the space that was so safe before?
Safety wasn't always what Orville was looking for. He was looking for seclusion. This place will still work, although it needs more touches now.
How much time has passed since the opera?
Probably about a week.
The phone rings again.
I pick it up.
Orville?
Who is this?
This is your boss, Orville, again. Look, everyone's having a rough time just now, but you need to get your ass back to work.
Can I come in tomorrow morning?
This is the last delay, Orville. I mean it. I've been able to cover for you. I don't know why, but yeah.
Hey, sometimes a bit of kindness can cleanse others.
Yeah. I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you. Orville hangs up the phone and starts walking out the door.
For once, it's not raining on you, Orville. The streets are dry. No cars splashing puddles up onto you. What do you do?
At this point, Orville has anyone tried reaching out to him other than his boss?
I don't know if anyone from the group has.
I think Jen will at some point, maybe not now, I don't know, I don't want to cut into other people's stuff, but if at some point over the last week, I think Jen would have drunk dialed Orville. Amongst many other people. But, yeah.
And what about Dr. Green, since he was there at the...
Knowing the state that he was in, he would have at least attempted to call him. If he picked up the calls, would be a totally different question.
Probably.
He would have left messages.
Probably not from you.
Nope, that's fine. And he wouldn't expect them, but he would at least have the empathy to try to check on him. He doesn't know where he lives, that he's aware of, and so he would at least attempt to have called him. Left messages. Are you okay, Orville? I mean, last I saw you were pretty shaken up. I'm just checking on you. Hadn't heard from you. If you need some milk or something, let me know. I'll bring some over.
Okay.
And click that sort of message,
Yeah. Given that information, I believe Orville is continuing his walk towards the hardware store. And it's weird. Lately, there's been a lot of dumpster fires in the city. Most of them were caused by him. And he's just constantly checking bins to see if there's, a nice little dry piece of paper, maybe a cigarette butt hanging out on top that he can, give a low persuasion to.
As he grabs for a cigarette butt, a little bit of newspaper blows in the wind, gets uncovered, and a big splash page of Martha's face. And the headline, "The Terrible Night at the Opera."
Does it say anything about me?
Skim through it. Unknown hero confronted the terrorist.
Orville pockets it. Just to... I don't know. Orville's always liked the idea of a shrine.
When you pick it up, you see again Martha's head as it just bursts. And you can feel all of that manic rage again from all the people around about you. Almost feels as if your hands are going on fire. Just from the thought of it. Then it passes.
He rips out the image of the newspaper, keeping the text intact, and eats it.
Goes down smooth. Hardware store's open.
He picks up his supplies and begins formulating a plan on his way home. The mail sorting machines always have a lot of dust around them from all the friction on the paper. I think that's the first place that he's going to hit.
Today or?
Not today. Maybe not tomorrow either. But there's enough supplies here.
The way home, Orville used to not feel as much, yeah? And the way home, as the traffic builds, as the people are going about their business, ever since that night, Orville can... Oh, there we go, Brenna, boom, boom. Orville can feel... Should never have told them that people like that. I love you. Apologies. ever since that night, you have been able to feel the. You can still feel the after effect of what you did. That the opera became a room full of sociopaths, became a room full of danger, of emotion, of rage, of people not blending into the background. And that seems to have made its way out into the city a little bit. Don't know if it's following you or if it's just everywhere, but you can feel it.
It's about time other people started feeling the way I felt. Orville smiles to himself and continues his way home.
When you're almost there, the rain starts to fall again. The car drives by, and some puddle that somehow made it splashes up onto you. And just for a moment, it's like it used to be. As if no one noticed you. No one cared.
Is there a car nearby?
There's a couple of parked cars, yeah.
Can I call it? Orville's gonna walk up to one of them and pull a piece of ceramic out of his pocket and just smash a window and walk away.
Would you like a roll for that?
Sure. What would you like me to roll? Wait, wrong game. We're gonna go with it's a ballroom blitz. And how about enhanced reflexes to keep
and this is take a risk. Yeah.
Can't actually see what I rolled.
So what does it look like?
1 sec, I have to go down. Great success. Yeah, it's just like any of the various YouTube channels that will teach you how to rob a car. Just walk up, little tiny piece of ceramic, whip it at about 5 paces away. Window explodes. Orville keeps walking.
The car alarm starts to go off. Hooting and hollering. You hear someone shout from a window, "That's my car!"
Shouldn't have parked it there.
In the distance, there's sirens. And the lamppost above your front door, a raven looks down at you and caws.
Well, I don't have any. Oh, I. That's weird. I don't like that.
Cocks its head, caws again, pumps his wings and leaps into the air.
Okay. I feel like the world's trying to tell me something. Oh well. Orville walks back into his apartment and starts setting up his cocktails.
What would you like to... Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, is now a good time for Jen to drunk dial?
Sure.
You go.
Ring, ring. Hello?
Orville, where have you been?
At home, mostly. I imagine
need
you know
to-
where that is.
Well, it's a bit rude to just say to your friends, I know where you are and where you live. People don't like that. It comes off as a bit creepy, but this is not why I called you. I called to ask a favor. I need your help to not care about people. I get the feeling that you are someone who can help me in that.
Well, lobotomies are very cheap nowadays. And
I quite like the ability to be able to, feed myself and talk afterwards.
okay, well,
Are you okay?
the best advice I can give you is to accept that the world doesn't give a fucking piss about you. And neither does the universe. And any problems that you have are caused by social structures that you can't fully navigate yourself. And the best course of solution for any of these issues that come up is just to walk away from them. That is, unless those situations force the topic, in which case a fist works just as well.
Well, that may not have been as helpful as you thought it was, Orville.
Oh no, it's what got me to where I am. And I hope that it will get you to where you need to be as well.
Well, thanks, Orville. Have a wonderful evening. Are you okay?
I am fine. I've never been better. It's almost like I found something very cleansing in the last week.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go now. There's a guy here. He seems to have dropped his drink. I need to go help him with that. And the phone hangs up.
Jen? Okay. Literally not taking any of my advice. Literal zero of my advice taken. You know what? Fuck you, Jen. Punches through the wall again. I don't know why I try to help people. All they do is suck.
How much of these cocktails do you have? How many?
He picked up a single jerry can, those metal cans that you can buy at kerosene. So it's 2 gallons worth of kerosene and maybe 16 mason jars, which very obviously are not the ideal glassware, but you can get them for $2. So that's what Orville can afford right now.
Smell kind of overpowers that of the soured milk. At least at first, for mixing in with it. You can kind of sense something new. Things are different now for Orville. For better or worse, what happened that night has changed him.
Yeah. But did it really change him, or did it just allow him to believe in one more thing?
That is something he will need to answer. Just want to check something quickly. Is there anything you would like to do for any of your teams?
I don't think Orville's going to do anything else at this point. This is a meditative practice for him.
Yeah. And in that case, we'll move over to Vanessa. The funeral has been held out by the church, so the cathedral. Some people's family have money, and despite what happened, kind of want to show what she meant to them.
Hayden has money anyway as well, so I'm sure that her father paid for a good portion of the funeral and not just Rick.
Oh yeah, no, I meant her father.
Yeah.
She didn't herself, though, as far as she was trying at least to go through it. It's been about a week. Official cause of death was just heart failure. Shame in someone so young. There were rumours linking her with Martha. There were rumours linking the entire scene there to Martha, and whether there was some kind of cult or whatever else. Things that probably hurt Vanessa to hear, knowing they weren't true.
Yeah. Nonetheless, she doesn't do anything to prevent them. She hasn't sent out her lackeys or pulled any strings to prevent the stories from running. She's left that, her official stories anyway, newspaper and things, she's left that to Rick.
Rick has done his best, and his father's best, to keep her name out of it. The rain's pouring. It's one of those classic scenes when everyone's standing around the grave as the priest talks about her virtues and how wonderful a person she was, how kind, and how everyone loved her. The black umbrellas dripping with water.
Vanessa turns to her daughter, who's pushing the wheelchair behind her, because wheelchairs are hard to do by yourself in the mud, and says, "It's a bit much to have servants whose only job is holding the umbrellas over us, isn't it? Pavilions don't cost that much, do they?"
She smiles. A little chuckle comes out, which she feels guilty about immediately.
I made a joke. It's okay to laugh at it. You know that's how we deal with our emotions in this family.
See your sister standing, tears pouring out. She notices you, as does her husband, who makes a start, and she puts her hand on his arm.
Be a dear and take these cigarettes over there. They're Morgana's brand.
And she takes them, walks over. Short interaction. And she comes back.
Yep. It's the way it goes.
Are you sure you want to be here? No one would blame you if you weren't. I mean...
Yes, I do. She was the one who would talk to me about it. Even if we didn't talk much, she was the one who would talk to me. And it's always good to remind Hayden that this money should have been shared between us. Is your father here? Have you seen him yet?
Not yet, no.
He hasn't responded to any of my texts since that day.
I haven't heard from him in quite a while.
He loved her too. He should be here.
He's not very good with emotions either.
He needs to get over it. I'm here. You're all three of her grandmas are here. I feel bad for her mom's mom has to play mediator between those two.
Maybe they should get over it. Look, I don't really want to stand about in the rain all that much longer. It's a funeral. Dead people are dead.
Yeah.
Should go and remember the living.
Vanessa will reach up to the Nautilus shell necklace and pull a stringy sort of light. Very much resembles sort of cartoon pizza, how it always has that really weird cheese drip, cheese pull. And it's a glue that is weirdly both dusty and glowing. And pull it out, put it in her mouth, swallow it back, and got too many M names. Why did I give everyone M names? Miranda's voice. Miranda's voice come out of Vanessa's voice quietly and says, and will say, the dead aren't gone.
Mom, don't do that here.
You can't tell her own story. Can at least be in her voice.
Look, you'll just hurt them if you do this. People's heads turn as a car pulls up and a slightly inebriated Rick gets out. Am I too late?
Hastily pull the voice out and put it back in the pendant. She's still above ground, Rick.
Thank you, Vanessa. And he kind of stumbles over. He's not quite drunk, but there's something. Maybe it's not alcohol, maybe it's drugs. He's not quite steady on his feet.
As he passes, Vanessa will put out a hand to just grab his hand with something of a touching gesture, but meant to be firm to get him to stop for a second. While she says,
he wrenches it out. While
she says, if you need stability, Parvati doesn't have to push me everywhere. If you want to hide, you're coping.
Fuck off, Vanessa. You have no idea what I'm doing. It's because of you she's dead, isn't it?
Because of me.
You were there, and you kept telling me that she was... what was it you said on the phone call?
I tried to get you to send help.
Yeah.
The cops answer to you. The cops threaten me.
That's right, Vanessa. Play the victim. I know you had something to do with it. I can't prove it, but I know you fucking did.
There is one victim here. Pointing at the grave.
Yeah. And it was your jealousy that did it, wasn't it? Aiden comes over. I think that's enough, Rick. Vanessa, I think it's time for you to go.
This family needs to actually work through a thing or two for once in our lives, Hayden.
Well, that time might not be my daughter's funeral.
When was the last time you talked to her, Hayden?
Probably. Before you cause a scene.
Seems to be too late. There's now four of us. Priest has stopped his benediction. Whatever will Jesus think?
Mom, look, let's just go. Yeah, go on. Fuck off. Aiden puts his hand on Rick's shoulder. Yeah. No, it wasn't Aiden. That was Rick.
Okay.
Aiden is a little bit more reserved at the moment.
Rick deserves a place here too, Hayden. He's coping the way he knows how to cope. I'm coping the way I know how to cope, with anger and jokes.
The two of you made a mess of her life.
We were in it, Hayden.
Do you think we'll ever forgive you for that?
The Lord won't forgive me for it. I have no need to forgive the Lord for, well, you.
I really think it would be better if you left. This is my daughter's funeral, and I do not want to cause a scene. But I will handle a scene.
Just ignoring him, turn to Pravati. I have a gift for her. Wheel me over there?
Pravati looks between the three of you and kind of shrugs at Aiden, sorry, and moves to push you through. Rick tries to stop you, and Aiden puts his hand on his chest.
Maybe you can teach old dogs new tricks. When I get to the casket, I pull out a record and a clipping that specifically says that Miranda might be the best jazz singer in the city, eventually eclipsing even Martha. Like, specifically says that. And tucks the news clipping into the record cover so it doesn't get dissolved in the rain, and places it amongst the flowers on top of the grave. You never needed lessons. And we'll actually take out her voice and put it in again. Say, you never needed her lessons. She needed yours.
As you see that, you hear a sob at your side, and it's Miranda's mother. She breaks into tears. I miss her so much, Vanessa.
Again, hastily take the voice out of effect. I know. I do too. I tried to tell her she didn't need lessons. She didn't listen. She never listened. None of us ever listened.
She always loved you. No matter what had happened.
No.
Maybe we can meet for a coffee.
That would be lovely. Viv introduced me to a coffee shop a while back. It might be a good place to meet. Not far from... Well, maybe we should meet a different place.
Just give me a call. Look, Aiden is not handling this well. Maybe you should go.
No one wants me to leave my own niece's funeral.
She knows that she knew that you loved her. She loved you. What doesn't matter? She's gone now. All this is just pomp and circumstance.
Pomp, circumstance, and statements.
Yeah.
We deserve to be here. We have
She deserves not to be lying
always
in
deserved
that
to be
box.
here, whatever my bastard of a father thought. I know. I know. I know. I'm sorry.
We'll meet for coffee. We can talk about it. She actually had a small will. And it's nothing much, but she did want you to have something.
Touch the necklace. Don't do anything but touch the necklace. Oh.
Yeah. Just trinkets, really. Things she'd collected.
I know you know this, Anna Marie, but I don't think your husband does. Trinkets are sometimes the most important possessions.
Yeah, that's why she wanted you to have them.
I'm sorry, Anna Marie. I should have been faster. Should have been smarter.
It's not your fault.
It's like Vanessa seems to be weighing something for a second. Says, I had been asked to help with Martha.
Really?
Yeah.
You knew what was happening?
Was figuring it out. Should have been smarter. Should have been faster. Be easier.
You hear the squelch of mud as Aiden comes up behind you.
And we'll say, knowing that Hayden is coming up, could have been easier if I'd been one in the club with Martha that night. And I made sure that Hayden
yourself. No. You big sigh. I want to finish saying goodbye to my daughter, Vanessa. You have no place here just now. Mourn her if you wish. But this is a family event.
Hayden, you were so close to getting what you wanted. But then you had to say those things. I think I'll stay.
Nearby on a tree, you see a crow or a raven. Gives the loudest caw you've ever heard as you say that.
I'll glance over my shoulder at it.
The head cocks at you. And two more short barks of caws. And the wings flap. And it's a massive bird. It flaps into the air, circles round once, and you hear the caw again as it goes when the rain stops. You see tears streaming down Aiden's face. He holds on to Anna Marie. Please, Vanessa, just go.
Too late, Hayden. They don't have to keep talking. I'll be here still. Till the service is over and she is finally tucked in for the night. I will be here.
The look of rage that crosses his face is nothing you've ever seen before. He takes a handful of dirt, throws it onto the coffin, and tells the priest to leave. And everyone else too. You couldn't just let me mourn for my daughter, Vanessa. It's my daughter, your niece, your fucking rival. My daughter. And you had to ruin this for me. Dad was right, you know. It's just selfish.
Tell me again about how things are yours, Hayden.
He turns on you, turns away from you, and starts to walk off. And he says, you didn't have to do that, Vanessa. And turns as well, and walks.
People can't be yours, Hayden.
As he walks off, the attendants come, start shoveling in the dirt.
Vanessa, I'm sure Parvati will start moving Vanessa away, and Vanessa will grab Parvati's hand. No. I said I would be here until she's tucked in.
You do that. The rain falls again. Big, heavy drops. The men seem slightly uncomfortable that you're watching them as they do so. Maybe it gives them a little bit more energy. I've done a bit quicker, but it still takes quite a while to fill the hole. The whole time, Pravati stands with you. Sometimes stroking your hair, trying to make sure you're okay.
Vanessa just watches in silence.
With the last shovel of dirt, displays over the camera, we fade to black.
One last thing, real quick, is after Pravati leaves Vanessa at public transit to get back home, Vanessa will put the voice in again, Miranda's voice, and just start singing a soft little song and text Orville. I've been giving you my space, but I think maybe your new hobby, ... I could use some of that medicine right now. And that's the end of it.
Jen.
So Jen, for the last few days, has been seeking out as much work as possible, as many cases as she can get, of a less than idealistic nature. These cases tend to be. She just finished one where there was a city councilman who she was hired by his husband to find out if he was cheating. He was. So he just destroyed his relationship, and Jen just got paid for it. So she's not feeling particularly great. She's in her office flat bedroom toilet. There has been several bottles of liquid drunk, and she is on a drunk calling spree. So first up, she's on the phone with the councilman, currently screaming, being like, well, this is on you for falling for an asshole. It's not on me because I found the information.
You will get your money, okay? I just need the time.
Yeah, I know your husband's a bell end. That's fine. Just,
do you do any other services? So I wanted to make my husband pay.
I don't do that. I won't go that far. No, I won't. No.
I'll double your fee.
You've still got him. You know that, right? He's still in your life. He hasn't left.
Yeah, he fucking should.
Maybe.
This is going to ruin my career.
Yeah, but he didn't leave. You don't know. People leave. People die. People go. He stayed. He just wanted a bit extra. You're so ungrateful. Screw this and screw you. She hangs up. And for some reason, she starts calling Miss Tuesday. Pick up, Vivian.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Jesus Christ. I'm good. I'm just heading into my apartment. I just got back from a conference. What can I do for you?
Has Davina been in touch? Is there another case?
Look, I've been out of town for a while. I've been taking care of some things. I was just about to call Davina. I saw she wrote me a message a while back, but I don't know what she wants from me. Look.
Well, you missed a hell of a week.
I know. I need to catch up on that. I've seen the unofficial report of what happened.
Well, you want to know what happened?
The less I know,
could have stopped it. I could have stopped it.
Stopped what? Are you drunk?
If I'd thrown something at her, then she might not have done what she did.
Are you drunk?
Of course I'm drunk.
Okay, I'm going to ask you another question right now, and I'm dead serious. have you been in my apartment in the last week?
Well, I had to see where you were.
Okay, that is crossing a line. I know Davina said we should play nice with each other, but don't you ever fucking set a foot in my apartment. Did you go through my things?
Well, I had to make sure you weren't hiding somewhere.
Okay, listen. I had an important package that was supposed to come for me. It was supposed to be put in my apartment by my assistant. She wrote me that she'd put it on my dresser. Where is it?
I didn't take anything.
God.
Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I was thirsty. So there may be a few less bottles in the place than there was, but apart from that, I took nothing.
I hope you didn't touch my Chateau Resoir.
I don't even know what that is, Vivian.
That is a fucking $1,500 bottle of wine that was gifted to me by the mayor. That thing is priceless.
Well, it's nice talking to you, Miss Tuesday. Gotta go. Bye.
Davina's gonna hear. Hello?
So the next gen tries to phone us with Davina, even though it is basically the middle of the night.
Yes, Jen.
I need another case. I'm out of cases.
I heard you've been quite busy.
Yeah, well, the only mystery that I don't think I haven't been able to figure out is the burning bins disaster. And no one's willing to pay me to figure that one out anyway, so what am I going to do? I just sorted out the stuff with the councilman and his husband. So, you know, have you got any more of that?
I think something's coming up, but I'm not certain yet.
Well, you got to get...
How are you, Jen?
Sorry?
How are you?
Like you care. You put me on this case, and I saw her put a bullet in her head. Why didn't I throw it? Why didn't I throw it at her head?
Maybe you weren't meant to.
There was one person in that room who could have stopped her doing that. Well, okay, there was two. But I don't know what Orville's deal is. I don't really understand him. I'm probably going to have to call him after this and find out. But yeah, what? You got me in this, and now I can't get her out of my fucking head, Davina. I can't. So you need to get me busy.
You're not the only one, Jen. Yeah. What happened with Martha has... Well, it's done a lot of damage. It's not your fault. It's not Orville's fault. It's not Dr. Green's fault. If anything, it's my fault.
Maybe one day I'd like to get into that, but right now I gotta go. I gotta give Orville a call. She hangs up. She looks around, and then she calls Orville and asks him to stop her from caring about people. Then once that conversation's done, she throws her phone across the room and is just like, fuck this. She leaves the apartment and goes out. She sees... Well, I guess what she sees is up to you. Sorry, I'm overstepping my bounds.
Tell me what she sees. It's fine.
She sees a little girl on the street, and there's a cat up a tree, and she's very upset. Before she can think, she jumps into the tree, picks up the cat, jumps down, and hands it to the little girl. And the little girl goes, "Oh, that was amazing! You're like a superhero or something." She just turns to the kid and goes, "You take those shit words out of your mouth, kid. fuck you and fuck your cat. And she walks off into the night.
You hear her burst into tears.
Jenny on some level feels quite bad about that. But also, sorry?
They said, no, on you go.
Well, she feels kind of bad about that on some level, but also she feels quite satisfied by it for some reason.
You hear the cat wailing, screaming as the girl starts crying. Mommy, I saw a superhero and she was a dick. Don't use that language.
Oh, Jen, so much fun.
Do have nipples if you look at them properly. Sorry. Sorry, I can't help it.
Seems legit.
Yeah. In the distance, you hear sirens. You've been hearing more and more throughout the city. Smell of a burnt dumpster reaches your nose as well. This one, not one of Orphan's, but you don't know that.
At this point, she hasn't really been looking that much into the dumpster fire thing. She's looked at it for a bit and then was just like, nah, this isn't anything that anyone will pay me for anyway. So, I guess she heads towards the sirens almost instinctively. Or maybe even by mistake. She's had a few.
Just keep her on the level. Just enough. Sirens lead to a fire. You can see a burning building, a tenement building. It's only like 5 floors. 3 fire engines though. Fire is raging. They've got people out. And there's someone near the top. Firefighters aren't able to get to them. You can hear the screaming for help.
Jen thinks for a second, but then her better nature takes over and she decides to jump. So the building's on fire, right? And they're at the top on the roof, this person.
On the not on the roof, but on the floor below. The fourth floor.
Oh, the floor below the roof. Okay. Is there a fire escape?
There is, but it's hanging. It's not up to code.
All right. She's pissed. She's probably very high too, but she's going to scale the front of the building and try and climb to the top, to the window.
Sounds like a plan.
I'd say that is taking a risk.
I would say it's taking a risk as well, yeah.
Yeah, so substance abuse issues is definitely a weakness tag.
Yeah.
I think strong body and mind would be a power to have, as well as stamina.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's about it. Yeah.
I would give you the insight wisdom of heroes.
Okay.
To go with it, because this is definitely a heroic act.
Okay, so that means I've got a power of 2. Is that cool?
Yep.
All right, taking a risk.
There we go. Remember to mark attention then on that.
On the substance abuse one. Yes. 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 So I take it she successfully scales. Sorry?
How does it look?
She runs and stumbles up and jumps like 2 or 3 stories and keeps like springing up a couple of stories at a time.
Yeah.
And she eventually gets to the window and tells the person, right, lean out. You're going over my shoulder. We got one shot at this.
There's a look of shock in the person's face. You can hear the fighters down below shouting.
Come on,
And
go up with my amazing abilities later. We got to go.
She shakes her head and just climbs out onto you.
All right. So she looks down and realizes that climbing down is probably going to take a little longer. She's probably not going to be able to jump. But she sort of drops down very slowly, as much as possible, down the face until she gets to like the last 2 stories and then just jumps off and lands on her feet. Is there any rolls with that?
Superhero landing? Nah.
Yes. But then she stumbles a bit and then just like drops the woman on the ground from there, just like, sorry. You okay?
Thank you so much. She's coughing. You can see the soot stains on her face, on her hair.
So who started the fire?
We didn't. Sorry.
Is that something that she said?
The world's been turning.
Exactly. I don't know. Paramedics are rushing over to give her help. One of them goes, "Are you okay, man?"
To me?
Yeah, that must have been
I'm fine. You didn't see nothing. I wasn't here. Bye-bye. Jen just sort of stumbles off to the side.
You can hear someone shouting, "Stop! Stop!"
Yeah, I'm too busy. I got stuff to do. I got stuff to brood.
You stumble off into the night. Your phone rings.
Oh, okay. Hello?
It's Davina. Jen, I do have one job for you.
About time. I've literally rescued cats and trees here. Come on, what's the deal?
Do you remember the girl Brooke? It's Lanny's character.
You might have to remind me.
Lanny's character.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one of her friends is in trouble. That little rabbit, whoever it is missing. Rook's beside herself. She could really do with a hand there.
All right. I'm going to level with you. I've had a few, so you may need to pop some details in an email so I could read it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm on it. When was the Shadow Bunny last seen?
Rook will catch you up on everything. Go home, get sleep, get coffee, and try not to fuck this up, Jen. For your sake. And hers.
Thanks for the subtle threats as always, Davina. Bye-bye, love you.
It was not a threat.
I just assume everything you say is a threat, Davina. That seems to be what our conversations are mostly these days. All right, fine. I'll go find the special magic bunny. Bye, Davina. Jen sits down on a bench and passes out. And that is probably where she's going to be until morning. Oh, sorry.
Before she passes out, a crow lands on the bench in the back. It doesn't quite peck at Jen, but it like nudges the shoulder and caws.
What do you want?
Opens its wings and closes them again. It cocks its head. And it just looks you, and it's like she's looking her right in the eyes.
Fucking judgmental bird, get out of here!
There's a caw and the wings flap, and it flies off into the sky. And Jen's eyes close. She falls into what is hopefully a dreamless sleep. Not likely, though. Miss Tuesday, where are you?
Well, I just angrily realized that Jen dropped the phone on me before I could call her a bitch. And the next thing I do is call up my my assistant, Tiffany.
Yes, Miss Tuesday?
Tiffany, you said you dropped the package that arrived for me at my place, right?
I did, yes, of course.
Okay, because I can't find it. You said you put it on the dresser, right?
Yes.
Did you
Exactly,
notice?
told me to leave it.
Did you notice anyone around the apartment while you were here?
I didn't see anyone, no.
Okay, you did lock everything and make sure that it was locked, right?
Of course I did. I'm not an idiot.
God, I know, I just have to be sure. God, that fucking bitch. Okay, thank you so much. I'll take care of this. Sorry for bothering you this late. I hang up and I immediately call up Davina.
Yes, dear.
Listen, I told you this was not going to work. She's breaking into my apartment. She emptied out my wine cellar, basically. She took the most expensive bottles she could find. She didn't take the cheap shit. She took the expensive bottles.
Vivian, you do not have cheap shit. And we both know it.
Look, okay? This is a walking recipe for disaster. I told you before, she's a wild card. She's going to put...
And I've told you, Vivian, you shouldn't always judge a book by its cover.
Look,
Jen has more to offer than you see.
She's almost already killed them. What does she actually have to offer?
Well, maybe if you'd been there.
You know that I have other things that I have to take care of.
And that's always the way. We can't be everywhere. We can't do everything. She can do things that you can't do, Vivian. And she does them well. And believe it or not, she is actually a good person.
Okay. What's with the witch? How's she doing?
She's doing about as well as can be expected.
I read.
You could maybe use some help from friends.
Uh-huh.
You might not be that yet, but...
All right. Good. Good. Is there
you need some friends too?
Is there anything that I need to know? I mean, I've been gone a week.
There's something coming up.
Uh-huh.
I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but I can feel it.
Okay. When do we do the formal introductions? Are there ever going to be any? They know.
I'm not sure there's a need for them.
That
as yet.
Jen and I know each other through you.
Yes. And they all know that you know me.
Yes.
That's all they need to know for the moment. Knowing more won't help them.
Good. Then I'll stay on program.
I do not believe that for a moment, Vivian. How are your side projects?
You know, I can't really talk about them, but I'm doing my best.
I'm sure you are.
Being a librarian.
Have you checked in on the others?
As I thought. Not really. I just walked through my door to discover that the crazy one broke into my apartment.
When you leave your key under the doormat, it's not really breaking in, Vivian. Even if you hide it through certain means.
Yeah. Anyway, I need to now quickly check if everything that I actually need is still where it should be.
If you need anything, give me a call.
Yeah, because that really does help.
Others.
Sure. Take care, Dee.
Goodbye.
So,
If it makes you feel any better, Jen couldn't identify an expensive bottle of wine out of a lineup. She just very grabby.
Mhm.
So if it helps, it wasn't on purpose. She drank the most expensive ones.
That's why you have to bring Vanessa, is to help you choose the expensive
Exactly.
ones.
So Vivian quickly heads into her wardrobe and slides a panel off of the roof and pulls out a case of a very expensive looking rum bottle and says, "Whew, at least she didn't look as hard as she usually does. This should do the trick." And she then decides to call up Vanessa.
Viv. Hello.
Vanessa, I'm so sorry that I haven't been in touch. It's just been crazy. I've been traveling and going from meeting to meeting, basically, and I haven't had the time to actually be there, especially today, because today was the funeral, right?
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm about as expected.
All right. Listen, I know, I tend to keep to myself outside of the library and our jobs, but I was thinking, if you need someone to talk to, I have a really good rum, and I did confiscate a couple of happy cigarettes from a couple of high schoolers the other week. If you feel like hanging out, you're more than welcome to meet me.
You don't have to take the leavings of high school students. I can get you or make you most anything you'd want.
I'm supposed to be a role model for them, so I cannot actually just stand by and condone them using drugs.
So like any good role model, you will make use of the things that you've confiscated.
Well, what else am I supposed to do? Turn it over to the cops?
Share it with me, obviously.
That's what I'm offering to do right now.
I can't promise much talking, but
That's perfectly fine. We can also just sit in silence and get high and drunk.
I meant about the funeral. I'm sure I'll talk. You know me, I do love a good stage. Like, then you can tell that when she says stage, the memory hits.
Where do you want me to be?
We're going to be slumming it at my place or living it up at yours.
Would you like to live it a bit fancier tonight?
Place has an elevator and all that, right?
Yep. Very nice apartment.
Public transit?
Is also available. Stop is right outside of the door.
Perfect.
I'll send you the details of how to get here.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll see you soon, Viv.
See you soon. I hang up and I text Vanessa my address and how she can get here.
The text comes in as Vanessa is erasing, texting Jen about getting drunk.
Jen couldn't have answered anyway, so.
Yeah. After speaking with Vanessa, I decide to quickly give a ring through the rest of the crowd just to see if there's anything that they want to talk about or if I can reach any of them. I start with Brooke.
No answer from Brooke.
Then I call up Mr. Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
Mr. Rickenbacker, good that I reach you. Listen, I would need your postal expertise. And I was wondering if you could maybe help me out.
Sure. What is it?
A package that was delivered to my address seems to have disappeared, and I was wondering if there would be a possibility to track the serial number in any kind of way.
Do you have the tracking number?
Yes, I do.
Are you aware how Google works?
That's the search engine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how.
You know that this is all electronically tracked, correct?
Yes. The problem is that the contents of this package are very sensitive, and I do not want to be typing them into a public service. And I'd rather use a couple of backdoors. I would pay for it.
Sure. What? Send me the information.
Okay.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You hear the sound of a bottle smashing and a fire alarm going off.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. Yeah, just send that to me. I'm going into work probably sometime in the next week, and I'll let you know.
Okay. This is kind of an urgent matter. Would it be possible to get it done quickly, or?
Sure. You can also just send me the information, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, that'd be really great. I'll get to it. Okay, I'll leave you be for now. I hope you're doing all right. You seem a bit off.
No, just doing some cleaning.
By breaking bottles?
What?
I don't know. I heard something smash in the background. I was just. I must have imagined it. It's okay.
No idea what you're talking about. Just in the background, beep 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 beep. Can't. I'm going into a tunnel, a very beepy tunnel. I'll call you back later.
I thought you were doing Hello. Hello. Okay. Wow, a bunch of crazy people. Okay. I then try reaching Dr. Green, just to see if he'll pick up.
Well, yes. Hello?
Dr. Green, I was wondering if you'd heard anything from Brooke. I've been trying to reach her.
I haven't seen her in class yet this week. I think, I haven't really gone either, so...
Is everything all right with you? Like, everyone seems a bit off. I don't know. I feels like I've been gone for a week, and all of a sudden things.
Maybe if you would have been there to help, you wouldn't. I mean, I watched a lady blow her fucking head off.
Oh, God, that is.
I had to clean off Orville, among other things.
Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry. How?
Oh, I can tell you're paying attention. Why don't you read the newspaper? And he hangs up.
Fuck you two. Okay, I'm gonna call Jen one last time.
That will ring out. Jen is sleeping on a bench.
Oh, God. Okay.
Or saving someone from a fire right at this moment. Probably.
Yeah. Jeez, okay. So this is a clusterfuck. Think, Vivian. Think. Okay. It's okay. We can get this under control. Yeah. Okay, cool. I decide to take a shower. It's been a long trip. I need to tidy myself up. Just so that everything's good when Vanessa arrives. And I'm not sweaty and dirty and
As you come out of the shower, you hear a tapping on the window. You glance out, you can see the massive crow.
I stare at it.
Taps.
I walk over to the window and I tap against the glass, trying to scare it off.
You see it cawing, it looks like it's laughing.
Okay. This is just great.
It taps again, beats its wings, flies off.
Good.
As you go to get ready, you can feel you begin to feel or begin to see perhaps a little bit of what's going on in the city, which kind of overwhelms your senses for a moment. You weren't there for what happened, but you know that that feeling started to stretch out. It started to take over some things. You've noticed, just in the short time you've been back, how irritable people are, how impatient they are. How people just disappear behind some trees at times.
Fall asleep on park benches.
Yeah, or park bench.
Okay. I sit down while the feeling kind of overwhelms me, and I try and pour myself a glass of the rum while my hands shake. What the fuck is going on here?
Rum pours. It burns slightly as it goes down. And I would actually like to go to Tim, but he's fucked off. So, now he's back.
My wife just walked in the door and the dog was going nuts and everything else. So,
fair enough. That's allowed then.
So I at least recognize that she came home and said hi. So,
see, there you go. That's always a plus.
Yeah, marriage
Vivian,
tip right there.
Burn slightly. Pay attention to your partner. It's important.
Oh, I made fresh coffee, by the way.
I smell that.
Okay, sorry. I made her happy.
But none for us. You don't share with it. You don't bring enough for class. Anyway, sorry, Vivian. It
All right,
burns
so-
as it goes down.
Okay. Yeah.
And the doorbell rings. And Vanessa will be downstairs. Dr. Green, where are you at the moment?
Depends exactly when this is. After the night of the opera, he kind of walked home. He's shaken up pretty good. He literally, first time he's seen somebody, had their head blown off. And then he burnt himself out on a magic overload or ability mythos overload, if you want to call it that. So now he can't even communicate with what he's used to and feel how he's normally. He is shaken up pretty bad, not handling it well. As later on when Vivian calls, you can hear some of his emotions. Basically, he goes home and literally buries himself in his greenhouse, trying to connect back with his plants. Builds himself like a grave. He's trying to recommunicate.
The silence is kind of oppressive.
Yep.
Let's do this. There's no warmth there, no communication coming to you. And you bury yourself. And what happens?
He's basically trying to just communicate with the plants again. And that's the one thing what he's been hearing for the last 15 to 20 years, he can no longer hear. So he's very confused and lonely right now because, these voices, he could nature is not there for him. And he's having a hard time.
He's in the dark. You're in the dark for days. You don't move. You don't eat. You don't drink. Until you start to feel a whisper at the back of your mind. Just a tickle, the echo of what it used to be. And although you're dehydrated, you start to feel the moisture coming in through the soil. And very, very, very slowly starts to come back to you. But the note's changed. It's not as warm as it once was. You've got somehow, maybe it's more weedy than it used to be. Things vying for the space, pushing other plants out, You know, it's no longer just it's still green, it's still life, but it's life that is desperate.
I'm figuring angry somewhat too, reading off my emotions, or fear. One thing, when he let out his powers and let him go, he was very afraid of killing again. And that might be a reason why he's resistant to feeling his powers again.
Big people, maybe. Can't tell.
It really does take you days. And as you come to, you didn't really notice the passing of time before, but as you come to, you can hear your phone ringing. You'd left it on charge because that makes it easy for it to be ringing, not out of battery.
I would pick it up.
Dr. Green. At last.
Yes.
I've been trying to get you for days.
Sorry, I've been sick.
Well, you have to report when you're sick to my office. This is unacceptable behavior, Dr. Green. If you weren't tenured, you would already be gone.
Thank you.
Lucky I'm tenure then. I'll see you when I come in tomorrow. Click.
You're sputtering before you hang up.
By the way, who was that? He thinks in his own head.
That was the head of your department.
Oh, shit. His brain is slowly clearing up now because, I mean, he thought it was one of his, screw it. I'll see her tomorrow. He goes and finally takes a shower and cleans off, figuring he's covered in dirt. Really thinking about what's been happening. I mean, quite literally, he seems like the odd duck in the party to him. All these others are action, mystery, and he's just a guy who likes plants. But
you say that, but you get the same at the same time. There's a feeling there that you know the power that you have is something that should be used. There's things to protect them. You know, these people have had you going about into enclosed spaces, industrial spaces. You know, everything where it's basically the antithesis of what you are. But they need your help. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does. That's kind of what he's clinging on to with healing of that and the plants that are out there. And the nature that's what's left in this horrid city that you can't seem to escape from.
As I said, when you were waking up, you got the feeling of different plants, about the different a different feeling to them. As I said, like weeds, aggressive plants coming through. And even in your greenhouse, you can hear them or feel them starting to take over. Those plants that you lovingly cared for months, years, that are now beginning to die, but they're being covered by other life. You know, they're not just dying off on their own. So thistles and thorns are wrapping around them.
Vines and strangling them, weeds. I'm picturing it.
Yeah. You notice on your phone, there's several messages.
Any of interest?
Most of them are work related, but there's one from Brooke.
That's the one I would listen to first.
Orville's gone. He did.
Orville's gone?
Can't tell you how I know. but he's got... Oh, not Orville. Oliver. Fucking wrong person.
Okay.
You don't look like Orville. Oliver's gone.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he needs help.
And that is the rabbit's name, and he knows him. He actually kind of likes the rabbit.
Yeah, the rabbit gets along.
Did she give any information? I'll try to call her back.
There's no answer.
I will leave a message saying, I got your message. Call me back as soon as you can. Hopefully I'll see you at school tomorrow. And then he kind of hangs up and doesn't think about it probably for the rest of the day as he tries to figure out what day it is and how long it's been.
You go throughout your day, you check your emails. You start getting back in, you've got messages from students asking, the results of their papers that they got in. The person that had their paper come in late sent several messages wondering why they haven't had their note back, their grade back. And towards the end of the day, back at the greenhouse, you hear the tapping, just like Viv did. The crow above. You hear the caw. And the tapping becomes more and more insistent.
Outside? Well, I would walk outside.
You hear the caw and the scream. And it flaps into the air but lands again on the greenhouse and keeps tapping away.
I would like to attempt to see through the illusion. Oh, excuse me, not what is it called?
Yeah,
the mist in this one. Sorry, wrong game.
We are not playing Cult.
Yeah, but it's the mist. What is it? I can't remember what that move is.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's basically your roll plus mythos.
Roll plus mythos. That's what. Okay. And roll. Just mythos because I don't see a button
so it's
for
2,
it.
isn't it? Yeah, just roll something mythos 2.
Okay.
As you concentrate, you see the raven or the crow or whatever the hell it is, and it kind of shimmers, and you see antlers on its head. And you see legs spin out of it, like spiders. And it looks at you and cocks its head.
I will cock mine right back at it.
And you hear a voice in your mind. Look under the plant beds, green man. And the wings beat, and it flies off.
Definitely would be, okay, what's under my plant beds? What did he hide? Are there bodies? He'll kind of poke around if that's the case. He might not even be talking about my plant beds.
You hear a whimper. And a voice says, "What's up, Doc? You got any carrots?"
I bury it back, push dirt over it. Come on, Oliver. I reach and shake him out.
When
Where's
you touch
Brooke?
them, your fingers almost go right through. You can see that the shadow form is patchy and broken. One of the red eyes is completely out, and the other one is dim pink.
I will do my best to try to pick him up. If not, I will at least offer him, produce a carrot now that I can, though it might not be the most tasty anymore. And pass it.
You're able to pick him up, but it's very... It feels as if he'll slip through your fingers at any moment.
I will attempt... Can I attempt some healing on him with my gardener's gift? I don't know if it would work as well with him, but I will
For him,
attempt.
it wouldn't work because he's not a natural creature. You need something else. He coughs. Where's Brooke?
I was hoping you could tell us, or me, because I tried calling her. She said you were missing, and why are you... And I was told to check under my... He starts checking some of his other flower beds, or was this the last one?
I'm not having a fucking party here. I'm hurt. Fuck's sake. Got any drugs?
Brooke might be under one of these. I found you.
If Brooke was dead, I would know.
Well, you could have said that. Here, have a carrot.
And he takes it, and usually, he just devours these things, and he just kind of bites into it and very slowly chews.
I will attempt to take him at least in the house so I can offer him something. I don't really have much for him, per se. I'm not a vet. And if my normal healing won't work on him...
I need darkness. Get it dark. Turn the lights off.
That he'll do. He'll take him in and...
And don't try and touch me. You're not my type. And he coughs and laughs.
Well, then walk your own ass in the house. Come on.
I didn't say that. And he coughs a little bit. There's some bad shit coming, Doc.
Well, let's go in the house
I can
and
stay to help Brooke much.
Well, let's at least get you healthy so she can say goodbye then.
No, you're not all that bad. At least you give me drugs.
Thanks.
But as he's speaking to you, you see that his form is getting kind of thinner.
Yep, I'll try to get him into a dark place to lock him in, closet or otherwise.
Get him somewhere, and he's not being as cheeky as he usually is. Voice kind of quieting down. Thank you, Doc. And the one red eye closes. His body seems to recess into the shadows. And that is where we will leave it for this evening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Like and subscribe, banana boom boom, all that sort of shit. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.